Guys, get this. It's like pain chess.
Pain chess.
Pain chess.
Pain chess.
The podcast you're about to listen to may contain objectionable language, adult and/or immature content, mentions of Jesus Christ, and unironic readings of holy Christian scriptures. If any of this is likely to offend you in a manner that you find less than enjoyable, maybe don't listen.
Hi, I'm Pastor Bob Schaefer.
And I'm Pastor Eric Damon. Thanks for joining us.
Yo, welcome to a Comedians with Pastors Talking Bible short take.
And it's a short take. What do we do different with the short take? Are we still doing this every week?
We're just shortening it up. It's kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. We're just shrinking the podcast. We do that by bringing on comedians that we already know, so they won't have to ask them about all sorts of stuff like what they like and where they come from, because, who cares?
Because we don't care about what you like or where you come from.
You are just a commodity to us.
I'm actually Cotton-Eyed Joe.
Where did you come from?
We don't care. Remember, we don't care.
Except I can't lie like that. We care deeply because Eric and Abby are amazing people who are gracing our sofa all season long and last season, and we're just glad for them.
I've farted 4 times since we started on your sofa, just so you know.
That is what we are talking about when we say gracing the
your general
sofa.
direction.
I'm Erick Williams, and this is
Abby Evans.
She who farteth in the sofa.
She who farteth in the sofa. This is my sofa now.
That is like a legit thing, though. I mean, in churches, people have their spot in the pews, and that is where their butt has passed gas for generations, and the particular cushion has worn to accommodate their particular gluteus maximus. That is really in keeping with church life, Abby. So
you know who also secured his spot on the cross? Because when you think about it, a cross is kind of like a sofa.
He definitely farted up there, right? Like that.
My assumption is much more happens than just farting while being crucified.
He definitely shot himself.
Yeah.
He definitely shot himself up there.
I'm thinking that you don't get through a whole crucifixion without pooping.
I'll let a little one out.
But so he also farted.
Probably
more
went
than
hand in hand.
likely.
Yeah. I just feel like, when you're being like, we've all seen Passion of the Christ, like a crucifixion.
I actually have not.
We've all watched the South Park episode about Passion of the Christ. Like, you just reach a point where you're not really paying attention to what's coming out of you.
Yeah.
In all likelihood, a lot of times with a crucifixion, they would have had a somewhat pointed wedge shape in between the legs. That would be something that, with crucifixion, the whole thing is you are asphyxiating. And so...
Wait. You're asphyxiating?
Yes, your ass is fixating.
Your ass is fixating on that Bible reading.
If you'd like to try this, Eric, ever without actually nailing yourself to anything, all you have to do is stand with your shoulders back. Assume the crucifixion pose with your arms up like this, and see how long before you start feeling tightness in your chest there. It starts pretty quickly. And if you imagine the entire weight of your body being creating that pressure there, it really is eventually that you die of asphyxiation. It's you end up pushing yourself up with the feet that have nails through them in order to gasp for breath, and then you collapse back down again, and you kind of do a cycle of up and down like that until you die, which is why they break the legs in order to speed it up. But this is the part about the sharpened piece between the legs. You can kind of rest on that if you choose.
I have never thought of crucifixion as the worst Pure Bar class until now.
It's
it's bad.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
I mean, honestly, it is precise also in the way it is calculated by the Romans to, yes, you can relieve this particular thing that you are suffering from if you then shift the pain to this particular thing. And so you have this constant shifting buffet of agony.
I would have loved to have been in the writer's room when they came up with the concept of crucifixion.
Mm-hmm. Guys, get this. It's like pain chess.
Pain chess.
Pain chess.
But we are not going to be talking about the crucifixion today, really, at all.
What are we going to be talking about,
We're
Bob?
into the green season. We are back before.
We're talking
Jesus
about
was.
weed.
We are not talking about weed.
No,
You said the
You
green
could,
season.
Green season. So, for those who are not liturgical Christians, those who are liturgical Christians,
Okay, liturgical Christians are potheads.
Yes, they are. We are liturgical Christians, not potheads, who worship according to a set cycle of seasons. And Pentecost is a holiday that is celebrated the reception of the Holy Spirit.
I thought it was just
after
5 coasts.
The days after Pentecost is an entire season, really the longest season in the church year, also referred to as ordinary time because it is not a high holiday.
We finally get a break.
and
from all the-
actually, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna. Sorry, I know we need to get into the reading, but I'm just finally like connecting that the church year is kind of like being like the Tralfamadorians from Slaughterhouse-5. Like all of time, all of the Bible has already happened. We know what's going on. We're just kind of getting unstuck in like different Bibles. Like Jesus is basically like Billy Pilgrim. He's just
and the ordinary time unstuck move forward is the colors in the church are green during those seasons. So that is why I said we are in a green season. We are past Easter and the whole death and resurrection of Christ and into typically season after Pentecost. It's just a lot of teachings. That's where you really get the lessons of Christ.
Mm-hmm. And true story, it's not called ordinary time because it's boring or plain or anything, but it is related to the idea of like ordinal numbers, that it is a sequence of numbers like that. And so you have the fifth Sunday after Pentecost, you have the sixth Sunday, and so it is ordinal that way. It is ordinary. At least so I have been led to believe.
So
I could be wrong about that.
So how about we read our big giant gospel passage from the third Sunday after Pentecost?
Yeah, and I'm even going to read the optional thing that makes it like twice as long because, that gives us a lot of stuff to work with here. So this is for Sunday, June 14th, the third Sunday after Pentecost. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapters 9 and 10, folks, we've got 2 different chapters we're drawing on. Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the good news of the kingdom and curing every disease and every sickness. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore, ask the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest." Then Jesus summoned his 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits to cast them out and to cure every disease and every sickness. These are the names of the 12 apostles. First, Simon, also known as Peter, and his brother Andrew, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James, son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanian, and Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed him. These 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions: "Do not take a road leading to Gentiles, and do not enter a Samaritan town, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As you go, proclaim the good news. The kingdom of heaven has come near. Cure the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those with a skin disease, cast out demons. You received without payment, give without payment. Take no gold or silver or copper in your belts, no bag for your journey, or 2 tunics or sandals or a staff, for laborers deserve their food. Whatever town or village you enter, find out who in it is worthy, and stay there until you leave. As you enter the house, greet it. If the house is worthy, let your peace come upon it, but if it is not worthy, let your peace return to you. If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, shake off the dust from your feet as you leave that house or town. Truly, I tell you, it will be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment than for that town. I am sending you out like sheep into the midst of wolves, so be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Beware of them, for they will hand you over to councils and flog you in their synagogues, and you will be dragged before governors and kings because of me, as a testimony to them and the Gentiles. When they hand you over, do not worry about how you are to speak or what you are to say, for what you are to say will be given to you at that time. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. Sibling will betray sibling to death, and a father his child, and children will rise against parents and have them put to death, and you will be hated by all because of my name. But the one who endures to the end will be saved. When they persecute you in this town, flee to the next, for truly I tell you, you will not have finished going through all the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes.
Judas continues to catch strays.
Yeah, they really can't mention him without just making sure you know this is the bad guy here.
There aren't that many plot twists in the Bible. Like it's very much a Greek tragedy. Like we're gonna tell you how this ends, and you're just you are just forced to watch.
Yeah, the Gospels are not writing for surprise.
No.
They have a very direct story. They're more like an action movie. The good guys are the good guys. The bad guys are the bad guys.
But look at what we see about Judas here, right? That he is with Jesus. He's with the others. He was called by Jesus. He is traveling with them. He is sent and empowered, just like the other 11 are. Presumably, he goes out on this mission and has the same experience that they have, that in fact, the spirits listen to them and that they are able to do great things. And Judas is a part of that, which in some ways is a gracious thing. In other ways, it really says just how deep the betrayal cut, that this is a person who, as they say in the Acts of the Apostles, when they're looking to replace him, this is someone who came and went with them from the very beginning. He was a part of this, and still he was able to betray.
I mean, they only call him the betrayer. They're just like Judas Iscariot, the betrayer. They're not like so low IQ, like, oh man, he couldn't cook at all. Like, oh, and that guy smelled. They're just like, yeah, he's the betrayer. That's him.
Smelly Judas Iscariot.
It's definitely like the Aaron Burr in the
Judas as Aaron. You know, actually, I mean, this is exactly what we see in Broadway, right?
Yeah, I was going to say this is Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, I mean, Burr is not exactly a hero, but he's kind of a tragic hero.
Oh, yeah.
He's not even an anti-hero so much. He is a tragic hero, and Judas is absolutely the tragic hero in Superstar. So, those who see this from a literary perspective have absolutely treated Judas that way.
I like how we got a shout out to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh, yeah. Still smoking in the ruin that the Lord hath smitten them.
And spoiler alert, the sins of Sodom had nothing to do with butt stuff.
Yep.
No, it did not. Just inhospitality, which actually really does kind of fit here, right?
Yep.
I mean, that this is all about when the good news of God comes near, will it be received with hospitality, with gratitude?
And if the answer is no, just go to the next door.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, there really is kind of a sense of don't sweat it too much, right? The reality is that there will be a lot of people who will not receive this. And fine, move along. Find the people who will receive this. You are a messenger with good news, and your job is to proclaim this good news, to do the good things, and let it fall to others, including the Lord himself, what will come of it. Really, you are planting seeds. Jesus, he actually doesn't have them planting seeds. They are, in this case, the ones who are bringing in the harvest, I guess.
The laborers are few.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get more laborers to go bring in the harvest.
need to improve our immigration policies to.
Is that a metaphor there? Kind of, he's like, guys, I am the harvest. We need more disciples.
So the disciples is how I read this, are the harvest.
Oh.
That there is. So he's saying the harvest is plentiful. There are myriad people that are open to the good news. We don't have enough people to go out and bring them in. And so ask the Lord of the harvest to send you out and get it. And that is a message that preaches really, really well in times of a congregation growing and can be very challenging in times of a congregation shrinking.
And yet maybe it is exactly the kind of thing that shrinking congregations need to hear, that in Jesus there is an abundance. And it may not look like what you are taught to think. The way the Lord defines a plentiful harvest may be very different from what your culture says. But we have Jesus' word that there are so many out there who are ready and willing and need to be healed from the things that afflict them and who need to hear this good news. They just need somebody to go. So maybe we should go. Honestly, that is a lot of times, and I say this as a pastor where I've only ever pastored churches that have been holding steady or shrinking. Maybe one of the challenges is I'm not so good at going. I'm better at being resident someplace. Yeah, it's like we talked about a few weeks ago with the sheepfold and the idea that the sheep need to go out from the sheepfold. I like to think of this podcast as a way that I go out, but I can do that sitting in a room in my own church building.
Go out while staying in.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like only Jesus knew about podcasts. You could have gotten. There's just 4 of us.
But Abby, Israel in 4 BC had no mass communication,
and that's their fault.
Don't you get me wrong?
Whose problem is that? Whose problem is that?
I mean, that was actually one of the, it all comes back to Jesus Christ Superstar in the end, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
One of the productions that I really loved was showing the apostles using social media and communicating. It was this one was set in kind of a Occupy Wall Street sort of a movement. Jesus and his disciples were that sort of a movement. It was very connected. And so you'd see, this was back when I think Sherlock was like one of the first shows to do the showing the texts on the screen. Yeah. So this was like when that was still a new innovation and not something that just like every show does. And so you were seeing the things that they were texting pop up on the screens. And I wonder what maybe God doesn't want to be known that way, though. I mean, maybe it is.
I feel like throughout the Gospels, every town Jesus enters, they all knew he was coming before they were following him around. I feel like they made the most use they could of what communication tactics were available to them.
They didn't have Microsoft tablets, but damn if they didn't use those stone tablets.
That's right.
Bottom. Yes.
They got much better battery life.
I feel like, the time was short and the message was great. The harvest was great and the laborers few. I find it hard to make an argument that they would not have made use of whatever communication technology was available. If it was today, they would make use of all communication devices that they could. And we would have to remind them that when the trolls showed up in their comments, that this whole the people will not accept you is descriptive and not prescriptive. Jesus is not telling them go out and be enough of an asshole that everyone will hate you, and that is how I will know you really love me. That's not what he meant.
Not the way Alex Jones took it. Yeah.
Jesus meant that everyone's going to really like when you talk about the love your neighbor part. Once you point to a specific neighbor that they don't love, they're going to get pissed.
Back to Alex Jones, who's like, I'm a Christian. We can't have immigrants in this country. Oh, shut the door on refugees. The Onion owns my website now. Woohoo!
Okay, hear me out. I can't covet my neighbor's wife, but what if I hate my neighbor and his wife is really hot?
Hear me out.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
With the mass communication stuff, too, I mean, historically, the church has been pretty good about that. I mean, the church and pornographers, the ones who will advance the technology and put it to good use and use it for getting their product out there. Martin Luther with the printing press was, at one point, I believe the majority of the printed works in the world were volumes by the hand of Dr. Martin Luther. And it's just because he was so early in the existence of printed volumes and he wrote so danged much. But he saw that technological revolution and said, yes, this is something that can be used. And that has been something that the church has been maybe not quite as good as the pornographers with, but we're good at it.
It's been an arms race.
Yeah.
I have
Or
Paul.
a dick measuring contest.
Or a dick measuring against an arm contest.
Possibilities are endless.
I now have Paul Thorne's song "Pimps and Preachers" in my head.
I don't know that one, so I am blessedly immune to your earworm.
As a young man, he was blessed to be taught at the feet of pimps and preachers. Now I forget the chorus now. It's one taught me how to love, one showed me how to fight, one something, one brought me to the light. But it's the great thing about the song is the pimps or the preachers could be either one in all the cases. I'm sure Paul Thorne had a specific meaning in mind, but.
So how did you guys feel about Jesus' pep talk here before he sends them off on their mission? And we've got it like in two parts, right? We've got the part that is the prescribed reading for this Sunday, but then we've got the parentheses, the brackets there that are optional ones, and it feels like his speech kind of takes a turn. I shut down the pod.
I mean,
The parentheses part is long.
yeah.
The parentheses part seems like the hard part, where it's like you can take money, and also if they're welcoming you, heck yeah. If they're not, they're gonna get it worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. Shout out!
Shout out to Papa smiting that.
I do kind of love like the sibling parent smackdown he
Yeah.
brings up. I'm like, oh, can I like stick around to watch that? Can we like place bets? Like what's...
I mean, it gets really pretty dark. June 14th, is this like Father's Day weekend?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
it?
Are we reading about this on Father's
that would be
Day?
Great.
That would
I
be
gotta
awesome.
look at.
This is the amount of prep work we have done for this pod for you, friends.
We are always so prepared.
Hey, these are printed out. We're not all
No.
reading from the phone.
We are a week before Father's Day.
All right, well,
but
thank-
still, it's a nice little like
You can look ahead and just be like,
Yeah.
next week.
when you're buying those mugs that have like ties on them. Think about this.
Yeah, I mean, it does get kind of grim. And scholars would say that this is at least somewhat the church reflecting on the experience and the reception that they have had as they have tried to bring the good news that rather than Jesus predicting this, that this is just really what has actually happened. But it's not always well received.
No. I mean, it doesn't need to be Nostradamus for Jesus to recognize that if we are going to call the power structures into letting go of some of that power for the less powerful and sometimes no power at all people to benefit from that it's not going to go well. It's not a huge leap of speculation to realize that people in power like to have all the power. So I don't need to create this into a scribal edition afterwards. I can, even without any oneness with the divine, just any human being who's making the demands upon people with power and privilege that Jesus is going to be able to look at his followers and be like, they're not going to like that. Won't get real mad at you.
And you look at this, and the message is the kingdom of heaven has come near. And Jesus himself is not, in this case, the one going to all of these different towns and villages. He's sending his followers in his name. And I think that is good news for us, that Jesus comes near through us. As flawed as we are, he empowers us, and he sends us, and he trusts us with that. And he condescends to let us be his representatives, his ambassadors in this world. And that is both a humbling and a terrifying and also a really encouraging sort of a thing.
Jesus says, Autobots assemble.
And we roll out.
And the Autobots were assembled.
Well, that's where we're going to have to leave it this week, folks.
Man.
So what do you have coming up around Father's Day?
July 17th, come to the roast of High School Musical at Mr. Small's Funhouse.
Exactly what Abby said.
Which is always a good word.
Yep, and you can find me anywhere on social media at It's Abby E.
Comical E-Dubs on Instagram.
This whole pod is at CPTBPOD, at CPTBpod. And here we are again. You've spent another half hour listening to us, and if you happen to be offended in all of that, we're very sorry.
We are never actually sorry for that. You need to take accountability in your life.
Well, until you do take some accountability, at least do something useful and like this podcast, subscribe to it. Be sure you share it in all of the possible ways you could.
You can't add anything to all of the possible ways you could, so just do that.
You can make a bigger infinity by adding +1 to any infinity. I learned that in math. But we will be back in a week with more funny and more God stuff.
Until then, may the Holy Spirit do her thing in your life.